What's up, guys? Finally uploading a video. It's been like probably 2 months. It's been very hectic over the last 2 months. Well, really just last month has been really hectic. Had to move, and it was very last minute. I had like less than 2 weeks to move, and so that whole month was basically just me moving. And I've been here for about 6 days, so about a week. And I also have, ever since I've been here, I've had strep throat. So my voice probably sounds a little funny. At least to me it sounds funny. It might be a little better on the camera. But yeah, it's been a minute since I uploaded. It feels like it's been like 5 months, but it's only been just about 2. So yeah, a lot of craziness happened last month. Moving was hectic. It was literally just me moving by myself basically, and then I got sick. So here we got Jack. And yeah, but besides all that, last week hasn't been too bad, even though I've been sick and stuck at my house in my room. We got a lot of time on Helldivers, so I literally got the game on Monday, and it's Thursday, and I'm already like level 20, so I've basically been playing that game nonstop. And yeah, I want to get back into making videos. It's just now, since so many things are changing, I really don't know what I'm gonna do, because it's just such a sudden and large change. Because with me moving out of the house and the reasons behind that, which I'll explain later, it's also kind of, I guess, making me, and I guess everyone else too, so everyone's gonna kind of go through it, also leave the shop. So yeah, that's a very sudden and big change. The shop has basically been a huge part of the channel. I probably only made my first handful of videos when the car was just under the carport, and then basically every other video has been at the shop. So that's a very sudden change of scenery. It's also just a very sudden change in general when it comes to me and the 240 and what I'm gonna do with it now, and there's just a lot of stuff I have to think about, you know, weighing what's worth what and stuff like that. I've been thinking about it also because I've been in my room and I've had a lot of time to think. Haven't really been doing anything except also thinking about that. And so I have a couple ideas I will kind of bounce around and talk to you guys about. But yeah, right now I just stopped at a gas station real quick, get a quick bite and a quick drink. My throat is so sore, and I gotta just stop at the shop real quick just to check on things. I haven't been there in quite a while, because I've been sick, and then with the move, everything, I haven't been able to do much, and let alone go to the shop. The last thing I was able to do, which was right around the time I was moving, was I put all of my belongings, basically, like all the small stuff for the 240 in the 240. That's really all I was able to do. There's a lot of clutter and stuff, so I had to pick all that up. And yeah, so I'm just mostly going there to check on things. I haven't been there in a long time. We've had problems with things going missing. I just had something of mine go missing, which is a really stupid situation. And yeah, so I just want to go there and check on things. I do work tomorrow, so I don't know with how busy I'll be if I'll be able to, so I just want to quickly do it real quick. Well, it looks like they moved some of the stuff, but oh yeah, they got everything boxed up and stuff like that. Yeah, I already took everything out of my little drawer right here. I didn't have a whole lot, but it's just stuff I wanted to make sure I wouldn't lose, so put that in my car. But man, I I thought these cars would be on the ground already, considering we have like 2 weeks to move. I guess they're gonna do everything a little bit last minute or something. Alright, let's look around. And already I found something I don't like. That was a rat that just ran by. There's a big one too. Alright, well, I'm not gonna try to piss them off too much. Already, my toolbox is open and on the floor, whereas it should be shut and under the car, or I put it because I didn't want anyone messing with it. So I guess that was just outright ignored, because I have told people that I do not want my toolbox being touched, and they can borrow tools as long as I'm right there with them, because we all lose tools here, and that's why I bought this box. And look at that, I'm missing some pliers and some open-ended wrenches. I might have been missing one open-ended wrench already, but I am seeing 3 missing. So 3 open-ended wrenches and pliers. At least I have all the sockets, as far as I can tell. And then my impact screwdriver, which should be in that box. Unless I put it in my tool bag that I brought back with me, which I'm not sure. But yeah, no, this is unacceptable in my eyes. So I'm either going to send a very angry text message to the group chat asking who messed with my stuff and where my pliers are, or I'm just going to take this with me and buy myself some new pliers. I don't know, man. Part of me is just like, it's not worth it anymore. And this is something I had been avoiding talking about because I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to bring it up. And I wasn't pushed quite as far to where, like, I didn't feel like it needed to be even something that was addressed. But I would say this is a reason why I am actually happy to be leaving the shop. Like, I know I said it's a very sudden thing, and it's a very drastic change, like, for me and the car, and, like, I guess the channel technically, since, like, all of the progress has been here. But, like, holy crap, it's been so bad with stuff going missing. And, like, it's really bad because, like, one person's stuff will go missing and no one cares, and then the other person's stuff will go missing, and it's like a huge deal. Like, Brian, his differential got stolen, and he tried to tell people about it, and they just blew it off. I had I had a control switch, because all of my windows are electronic, taken from me. I figured out who it was, and they were testing something, but they took it without telling me, and they forgot to tell me. I don't know. And I technically got a window switch back, but it's a passenger one, so, like, it doesn't really fix it. Like, it was a driver's side switch, and now I have just 2 passenger switches. I don't know. I might rewire the whole assembly. Ideally, I want manual doors. Besides the point, I'm getting off topic. It has been a problem around the shop with stuff going missing, but it hasn't been a huge problem, and it hadn't really affected me that much. 99% of the time, everything with me and my stuff is A-okay, not a big deal. Obviously, something happened recently that I was kind of hinting about, and I guess I'll show you guys real quick. As you can see, I no longer have a master cylinder, and all my brake lines that I put on are undone. Obviously, I was planning on swapping the brake lines, so it's whatever, but, like, the master cylinder, I already had that on, and it was a pain in the ass to do the brake pedal and stuff, and, like, I got it on finally. And so, like, I'm not gonna name names. Someone took it and then told me about it way later. Like, took it off, threw it on their car for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Their car still doesn't run. And they, I guess, didn't want to order one. And so they took mine. And it amazes me that that was something that they thought about and was like, yeah, that's an okay thing to do. Like, no, and I was very pissed. I think rightfully so. Like, that's theft. Like, you're stealing stuff off my car. Like, this isn't like this thing where it's like, hey, if I'm missing stuff off my car, we can just kind of take stuff off other people's cars, right? No, that's not this rule that we have. Like, that's not an agreement we have. There's never been stuff like that happening unless, like, someone asks, like, hey, you have this thing on your car and I need that. Can I take it? And then I'll, like, buy you a new one. Like, that's happened. And, of course, after I confronted him about it, and I was like, dude, no, that's completely unacceptable. You shouldn't have done it to me, and we shouldn't be doing it at all to anyone here. That is so wrong. Obviously, he wanted to make it right, buy me a new one, which he did. Though I don't know how it will work with my car because it's right-hand drive, which I know you can use, but I don't know like what cables I need and stuff like that, or like the lines. So it's something I got to figure out. But the whole situation pissed me off, and I'm still like upset about it, you know? Like, I've gotten over it, but I'm just like mentally, I'm just like, why is that something that goes on here? It makes no sense. Like, wow, why are we just taking stuff off of people's cars? And, you know, at least he told me about it. I mean, it's kind of a big thing to go missing. I mean, if it was something smaller, I might not have noticed it, and whoever took it would have gotten away with it. I would have noticed that definitely, like, the next time I looked at the car. But stuff like that is, like, why I'm kind of glad I'm leaving. Like, I'm kind of glad that I'm getting out of here because, you know, it's already started, you know? Stuff has gone missing off of people's cars. Primarily, it's just, like, that big one was me. Like, Brian was missing a diff. It was on the floor mixed in with other diffs. Maybe someone grabbed it. Who knows, thought it was theirs. I don't freaking know. This was, someone had to take a wrench and undo two nuts and yank it off, you know? Take it off the actual car. So it definitely pissed me off. And it's like, well, I'm glad that I'm leaving because now that's something I ain't got to worry about. You know, I don't have to, like, go to bed at night and, like, hope, oh, man, I hope no one's going to take anything off my car next time I go to the shop and find stuff missing. So I just briefly wanted to touch on that. I know shops are not supposed to be a bad thing. They're supposed to be good, and I understand they are good, but I have just had the worst experience with shops. I think in general, just the group I've hung out with has had the worst luck with shops. The last shop, well, not the last shop, but the shop that I met all these guys, when I first met them in the shop they were at, there was like a huge falling out and a lot of drama. I don't really want to get into it, but it was really bad. People were going at each other's throats. It was terrible. And one of my friends, you've seen him before on my YouTube channel, Bradley, the guy with the RB swap in his coupe. He had a coupe years ago, and me and him, they were having to pull everything out of the shop because they weren't renting it anymore. Like I said, it was a complicated situation. And when we went there, his freaking car was destroyed. Like, it was unsalvageable. And we know who it was. Me and him both know who it was. And we just chose to ignore it. And, like, we still talk to them. We still talk to him and interact with them and stuff like that. And we just kind of just chose to ignore it because there was another guy that ended up taking the fall, which he might have been a little bit involved, but I know for a fact it wasn't all him. There was someone else behind it, and it's just the whole situation is screwy. And right then and there, I should have known, man, I shouldn't be keeping my cars here with all, when all this drama is possible with these guys. But man, it happens though. It happens. You gotta be careful who you're sharing your space with, cause man, you don't know. And one day, like, all your stuff could just go missing, basically, you know, or just slowly your stuff gets picked away. And I'm gonna just keep on ranting about this, but yeah, it's just let's just say I'm glad I'm out, but it's gonna cause a lot of problems that I'm leaving as well, which I'll get into that next. And like, I don't want to say that the whole thing was bad. Like, a lot of the people here have actually helped me get my car where it was. Really only one person in particular, but everyone's kind of helped a little bit. So like, the car is definitely where it's at because it was here, and I did occasionally have help. But I don't think that excuses or gives anyone a pass to you know, fuck around with any of the cars here. No one should be touching anyone's car. I have not laid a finger on anyone's car ever. This entire time I have been here for, man, it's been a while. It's been like, man, about a year and some change, I think. Yeah, I've never laid a finger on someone's car, you know, besides like I was helping Holden with his doors, which he stopped sanding them, and now it's starting to rust. And I told him to keep on sanding it or something. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's not going to rot or anything. This is the first time I've seen this. It's just surface rust. I told him to hit it with some freaking paint or something. Cause like when you sand the cars, you know, you only got a limited period of time before they start to get the surface rust, which ideally I don't like to get. I mean, you know, when I did my car, I sanded the whole body one day, and then I painted the whole body the next. Is my paint good? Fuck no. But is it all one color? Yes. Which it was not when I first got it. So, you know, and this whole thing was kind of supposed to be like a street missile, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, a lot of people have been helpful around here. I'm not trying to diss anyone, but it's been real bad, you know. No one's communicating with me. I've tried to be friendly. I swear to God, I'm probably the friendliest person here. I try to be nice to everyone. I try to be friendly. I talk when I can. I'm not a talkative person. I'm definitely more of an introvert than an extrovert. You know, I like my quiet time. I can go weeks without talking to people, and I'll just kind of forget. But when I do try to reach out to people, man, it's like no one wants to talk to me. So I've been freaking flying solo. I've been trying to figure out what we're doing about the moving situation. Like, my car's on the ground and ready. All of the stuff back there in the corner and against the wall, all that stuff can fit in the bed of a truck. All of it. One go. Throw it in the bed of a truck. It's good. All of the small miscellaneous stuff in the car. It's good. So literally, car on trailer, stuff in the bed of a truck, all of my stuff. One go. One trip. And it's good. And so, but like, this car hasn't been on the ground in a hot minute. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm not entirely sure. I was trying to ask the guy what he was doing with his car. I was trying to talk to him. Be like, yo, is your car ready to like move and go on the ground? And he said, I don't know. I was like, okay, all right, I don't know. I try talking to people and no one wants to talk to me, you know? And then they wonder why I might go a long time without talking to them, because it's like, whenever I reach out, man, like, and people are so short with me. And it's not everyone. It's like really just one person in particular. Maybe two. And it's just, if they're in a bad mood, they ain't gonna want to talk to me. I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing with the whole moving situation, and I have not quite figured that out yet, because every single time I try to figure it out, I just get told it will get done at the end of the month, or sometime this month. And honestly, I've been considering renting a U-Haul truck and trailer and towing this out myself, but the only problem is this car is kind of in the way. Like, I can't really get it. I know you guys are probably looking at it like, oh, you can make that. Not really. You know, between the pole, I could get it out a little bit maybe, but I feel like once I turn to avoid this car, it's gonna hit the corner, you know? Cause I don't know, like maybe if I move a lot of stuff, I might be able to, but just on camera it looks different. But you know, when I'm looking at it, it's like I can go here and then I gotta turn, and that corner's really close. Ideally, I would like it if this car is either moved a little further or further back. And I can pull this out myself, and I can load it up, I can tow it. I've towed cars before, you know. I could do it myself, but I would like this car on the ground and stable instead of on jack stands. And ideally, maybe like 3-4 inches back, because there is a lot of room. It can be moved back. Like, look at all this space. If it was just rolled back up against the wall a little bit, I'd be golden. I'd be able to get right out. But I don't want to risk it, you know. And I don't think there's no point renting a truck and trailer and then getting this thing out and just being like, oh yeah, I don't have the room. Maybe one day, not tonight, but one day I'll push the car forward and I'll see. Other thing is, I gotta put the steering wheel back on, because I took the steering wheel off because I needed to get the dash off, because I'm not happy with my wiring job, which I think I explained already, and so I want to redo it. But I gotta put the steering wheel back on, which I can technically reuse the hardware, because now that it's broken free, it should be okay. Ideally, I don't want to use the old hardware though, because the Allen wrenches that were used are not gonna want to fit that well. So, yeah, that's kind of the situation right now. I'm probably just gonna cross my fingers and hope that we get all this done at the end of the month, because obviously we have till the end of the month, and then everything has to be gone. And yeah, I just want my stuff out, but I'm probably gonna have to wait. Like I said, I am not someone who touches other people's cars, like, and so many people here are eager to touch each other's cars, you know. Like when I was doing the engine swap on this car, like, and I did talk in that video, and I was like, I want to wait. I'm not gonna touch it until the owner comes, because, you know, I wouldn't want people touching my car without me there. So like, I'm gonna assume it's the same with them. They don't want me touching their car. So yeah. Well, not the best thing I wanted to see at the shop. Definitely not what I was looking forward to, you know. I came here just to make sure none of my stuff was touched. That includes tools and then car and car parts. Tools were touched. I think all the car parts are fine, but you never know. I have so much stuff, I don't know. I think it was just the tools though. And I came here to check, you know. I think the entire time I was here, I'm like, yeah, there's no way no one's gonna touch my stuff. No way. And they touch my stuff. And then they just leave it open. They didn't even close it and put it back. It just, yeah, whatever. It bothers me. Okay, now that I'm done with all of that and got all that out of the way, now it comes to, well, now the 240 has to be moved and what goes with that. And so essentially I'm living where I lived before, and the whole reason why I moved the 240 to the shop was because the 240 here was a problem. It was fine for the first couple of months, but then gradually I was told it needed to either finish it or move it or something. And so I moved it to the shop, and now that I'm coming back here, I don't really know what's gonna happen. if I had to guess, I'm going to say I'm probably not going to be able to keep it here, or not going to be able to keep it here for long. And this is why this whole situation kind of screws me over, is because I needed a couple more months to at least get the 240, mostly done. And that's like if there's no bumps and hiccups in the road, which of course there almost always are. And now the car's gonna be back here soon, obviously in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I don't really know. I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do, and I'm, on one end I have a lot more money available because I'm not spending as much, for the shop rent and then renting the house. And it basically frees up like a good amount of money. So that being said, I have a lot more free money to put to the 240. But money isn't really everything, and this isn't the best place to work on the car. As I already struggled a little bit the first time I had the car here. Like, when I had the car here originally, it was fine for the most part. Like, I had it lifted up, I was able to drop the subframe, and I was able to do everything on, like, the right side. But, like one big thing I couldn't do is, like, I could never really paint or do body work on that side because it was always exposed to the elements. And, I just didn't want to risk anything. It's also just the heat and the weather, which doesn't really bother me too much. The shop wasn't necessarily a very cool place to be. It was quite warm, actually, a lot. And there was also bugs, so it's not really that's the problem. It's also just like, it's a giant slope down, which I don't really like. I like to have solid ground for a good distance around me. But it's not that big of a deal. I've worked on multiple cars here, never huge projects, even the C4 Corvette that I had, which I know I didn't really record that on my YouTube channel. It was something that, like, if you go on my TikTok, there's a lot of videos of it. I pulled we fixed the transmission and got the motor running after only a couple months, so it wasn't that big of a project. When my brother got a Mustang, dropped the transmission, swapped the clutch in one night, not that big of a project. My Fox body did sit for a couple months, but it still wasn't that big of a project. The 240 is still a huge project, and like, I'm gonna have to buy an engine, not an engine stand. I have an engine stand, but one of my friends has it, so I have to get it back from him. But an engine hoist, I don't have an engine hoist, so I gotta get an engine hoist, and I gotta get all this stuff. And I know that if the car sits here and I'm buying a whole bunch of stuff, it's not really gonna be good, because like I said, I was being told that I needed to find a new place for the car when it was here originally. So it's like, what do? I got one of two things I can do, which is either try to finish the 240 as fast as I can, which I don't want to do because that means I might cut corners and it needs a lot of work. I gotta drop the engine in. I gotta get a wiring harness, and like, now that I have more money and I can actually save up and get a decent harness, I can save up and get actually decently good parts, but it's gonna take a while still. And the other option, which is the one I don't want to do, but it's available, is get the 240, half-assed assembled, and then just sell it, take an L on it. Of course I'm going to, but I know someone will definitely see it and be able to fix it and take it off of my hands, and then get something else. Take the money that I get from the 240 plus saving for a couple months, get myself a 350Z or a Mustang or something. Obviously, like, those are the top cars that I'd get, just because I like the way they look or sound, stuff like that, and it just makes sense. So like, Those are really the only two options I can see if I still want to continue doing drifting, which I do. I've actually never fully got into it because the 240's been taking so long. And, one nice thing is, since the car is going to be where I live, I don't really have an excuse not to work on it out of laziness. If I can't work on it, it's probably because I'm missing a part or something like that, So, it's going to be something I'm going to think about, and obviously, whatever decision I make, I'll let y'all know. But, that's kind of where we're at. Just wanted to update y'all what's going on last month. Wanted to go to the shop to see if any of my stuff was touched or messed with, and then I also wanted to see the progress on, the moving situation, since no one really wants to talk to me. And then, explain the whole thing with the 240 and what's going to happen when it comes here, because I don't really know, Realistically, I'll probably be able to keep it here. It's just a matter of how long, because I know it'll be okay at first, and then hold on, automatic light turned off. As the months drag on, and if it's not quite finished, I'm gonna be told that I need to either move it or sell it or something. So I guess it's more like, as soon as the car gets here, it's like kind of a race of time, how fast I can get it done, or alright, I'm just gonna cut my losses with it, just get rid of it, which I don't want to do. But when you don't have many options, I guess that's kind of what you're stuck with, and I know I've talked about this before. I've probably brought up selling the 240 over a dozen times now, just because of how long it's been taking to finish it. And I know a lot of people can finish project cars a lot faster than me, but this is like my first project car I've done by myself, flying solo. Also, I've been working my butt off, and then no money. I'm gonna have money though, which is nice. So that's one problem solved. Money. Laziness, not want to drive like 30 minutes to the shop. Not really an excuse for that too. And then, that's really all my excuses. So one of two things are going to happen. Either 240 is going to come here, and I'm going to bust ass and get it done, or I'm going to sell it and cut my losses and get something else to have fun with. And that's really it. I mean, it's also, I have other hobbies, drifting isn't the only thing I'm interested in. Cars aren't the only thing I'm interested in. I have other things I enjoy to do. I have this, I go and I play like Magic with my friends every Saturday, because like a couple months ago they got me into that, and I honestly think it's kind of fun. So I do that like every Saturday night. I'm not really heavily into video games though. Helldivers 2 has been really fun, so like I'm playing the shit out of that. That's awesome. The only other hobby I had was obviously YouTube, and then like messing with my high quality camera. I haven't really messed with the camera a whole lot. I haven't done anything with YouTube. I need to start fixing the WRX. There's nothing wrong with it, just freaking fog light's still broken. It's been broken forever. I gotta replace it. But I also gotta do the brakes, which means I gotta buy a new jack and probably more jack stands, because I think my jack stands are under Holden's car, and I'll be lucky if I get some of my stuff back. Like, my jack's already ruined, so I gotta get a new one. And my jack stands is 50-50 if I get them back. Though I did get my tools. Yeah, I wasn't gonna leave them there, after finding them there opened, stuff like that, I was like, I'm taking it with me. That was completely, people are gonna say it's not a big deal, but it's like, dude, there's like literally 3 other toolboxes with 1,000 tools in them. I have a set piece toolbox with each individual piece in only one of them, and you mess with that one because it's nice and organized. And this is what I was saying. I think I said this in another video. I'm like, I bought that toolbox because I wanted to be organized. Because no one there is organized. Absolutely no one there is organized. They say they're organized, and they'll pretend to be organized. They're not organized. I wanted to be organized, even though I didn't have every tool that they had. The few that I needed, they were all organized in their own little bin. And then people see that and they want to use it because, you know, it's easy to find stuff. You know, I get why they do it, but I just don't like the fact they do it. You know, if you want an organized tool set, buy your own tool set. Go to Harbor Freight, spend $140 or however much it is, get your own. I'm probably gonna end up buying myself another one because I'm missing tools now because people have been touching it, using it, and now I'm missing tools, so it's fun. But yeah. In the video here, just wanted to update y'all. I know it kind of drags out. All my videos kind of drag out, but I like to talk, and I haven't been able to talk and just do a video in a long time, and a lot of the stuff's happened, so I wanted to get a lot of stuff out there. But yeah, I'll update you guys soon. So until next time.